It's Katie Crysdale here from Lakeview Aquatic Consultants. Welcome back to the Aquatic Industry Insider. So I've had a number of requests to do a weekly news roundup. We do offer the POOLaide weekly newsletter on Fridays. The main reason for that is because of Bill C-18 here in Canada that prohibits me from resharing news from really any publication or on the Lakeview Aquatic Consultants Facebook page, as well as Instagram. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed and actively reading this newsletter. It takes up a good amount of time each week, but it's something that I feel is really important to have a curated list of articles and trending industry topics and not just a listicle of new products that people are trying to promote free of charge. I did have a request if I could pick out some of the articles and create news roundup each week. Please let me know in the comments below if you enjoy this type of video or what you would like to see instead. On Friday, May 16th, 2025, the lead story in the newsletter was the Oceania fire investigation in Gothenburg, Sweden. In that brief op-ed, I take you through some of the essential information regarding that fire, as well as an English version of the accident investigation from the Swedish authorities, investigating the hot work that contributed to that explosion and fire where one person died and over a dozen people were injured. It's also caused over 100 million euros in damage. And the ownership of Leesburg, the amusement park building this water park, they allege the subcontractors of Whitewater West, the Canadian waterslide manufacturer, is responsible for this damage, and they will likely pursue litigation. In addition to the Oceania fire investigation, there were a few other news articles shared that I think are pertinent for the average aquatic professional. The city of Edmonton is considering selling naming rights to their pools, arenas, and even Commonwealth Stadium, which is the CFL, the Canadian Football League, where the Edmonton Elks play. This was something that was very new to me when I moved to Alberta in 2013. Back in Ontario, it was uncommon to see any sort of municipal or nonprofit infrastructure selling naming rights. It is definitely something I see all the time now here in Alberta, to the point where there are organizations reselling naming rights for the same building multiple times in a short period of time. Some of you might be familiar with the Lindsay Park Sports Society in downtown Calgary. That became the Talisman Center. There was Repsol Center. Then it became the M&P Center. So it's been through several different iterations. Even in the town of Okotoks, where I live, there was a naming rights agreement last year signed, what is now called the Viking Rental Center. Viking Rentals being one of the local heavy equipment rental companies. They purchased the naming rights for the community arena and sportsplex. So something that I think lots of different aquatic professionals should be considering. In Canada, we tend to think about sponsorship as only something that for-profit agencies are doing. In this day and age, with the current economic conditions and the cost to doing operations, it is something we should all consider, and it can be done very tactfully. Other big announcement last week was Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines announced more details on their new private destination near Costa Maya called Perfect Day Mexico. Some of you may be aware I'm a very active cruiser on Royal Caribbean, but whenever I feature these projects, it's because I'm genuinely interested in the design and the aesthetics. My personal experience with their destination, Coco Cay, I genuinely feel, whether Royal Caribbean or another organization, the color palette, accessibility, design in terms of having washrooms, food sources, bars, towels, life jackets is really something other organizations should consider emulating when it comes to multi-generational tourism as well as aquatics and revenue. Another big story is the rumor, now quasi-substantiated but not confirmed by the family, a larger TikToker in Arizona. It is alleged that her child experienced a non-fatal drowning and was taken off of life support and died in hospital. Really wishing that family the best in a horrible situation. Hopefully, in the future, they feel comfortable sharing their story in a way that can meaningfully contribute to preventing this from happening with other families. Since I don't want to recap the entire newsletter, which I'll link to below, there are two other news stories I think are relevant for us to be aware of. The first is a first grader who drowned while at a hotel pool, taken by a family member providing childcare for the parent while she worked. The parent said in the news article her son was supposed to be cared for in the home. There was no permission to take her child to the pool. This immediately brought to mind a video I've used in a lot of National Lifeguard courses called A Series of Events. You might have seen this video before. I will drop a link down below. It's an excellent teaching tool in the same vein of a scenario where the parents of the birthday child told the parents of the birthday party guest child they would supervise the child, and they did not. A real opportunity for us as water safety professionals to have those conversations with friends and family, with our communities, that taking someone to the pool without a parent's permission or without advance notice is not necessarily the safest thing to do, because not everybody is a good swimmer. The other story is this ongoing inquest in the United Kingdom regarding a 11-year-old girl who drowned at a water park. And it's being stated in the course of the inquiry that not only missing deep water markings on that part of the pool, it's now being alleged that the water was so cloudy that an experienced scuba diver who was called in had a difficult time locating the body. Those are some of the articles I wanted to share from the POOLaide newsletter sent out on Friday, May 16th. If you would like to get this newsletter in your inbox, please click below and subscribe. You could unsubscribe at any time. I work really, really hard to curate different topics and ideas that are going on in our industry in a meaningful way. With that said, I know lots of people don't need another newsletter in their weekly workload. Please let me know if you find this quick news roundup helpful or what you would like to see instead in terms of shorter content on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.